Hi everyone, welcome back to Re-Nourish with Manisha. We are in the middle of series which is discussing the period cycle of a female. And in this part we are going to discuss exactly what happens in a female body and what a female should focus on right before her period. If you are new to this channel, then I would highly recommend that you watch these two videos over here, because in these videos I have covered the first two sections of a human female egg. So now, without wasting any more time, let's just start with the luteal phase of the menstrual cycle. The 10 to 14 days of time before your period is called the luteal phase. As I discussed in the previous videos, one egg every month comes out of the ovary and gets deposited in the uterus. Now, once the ovulation happens, ovulation is the process in which the egg is getting embedded in the uterus wall. After it has been embedded in the uterus, then starts the luteal phase. And because nature wants us to propagate, that is the reason why our body is designed in a way that that egg can be protected at all costs. What we can do to protect that egg and have a healthy period is what I am going to discuss in this video in a while. But let's just discuss the kind of magic that happens inside of our body in this phase. Once that egg gets deposited inside the uterus lining, the first thing that it does is that it releases progesterone, which in turn tells our pituitary gland to stop releasing follicle stimulating hormone. Why? Because in the first video I had discussed that the follicle stimulating hormone is the one which actually tells our ovaries to release one follicle. And once that is done, that follicle itself will tell our brain that okay, fine, I am here, you do not need to release any more of my versions. But here is the thing, if at all there are two eggs which come out of the ovary in that particular month, or there are two sperms, or by any means there are two eggs which get divided from that one egg, twins will be born if the sex happens at that time. And seems like my parents knew how to do that. This whole process of releasing progesterone and that progesterone reducing the follicle stimulating hormone, and then as a result testosterone rises and estrogen keeps rising, that whole process takes 10 to 14 days. Now let's discuss what you personally can do in the luteal phase so that you not only have a healthy period, but you can also have a healthy body physically, mentally, spiritually and emotionally. One major thing to note is that this is the time when a lot of women have PMS or the premenstrual syndrome. This is usually characterized by bloating, heaviness, even headaches and body pain. However, just because it is common does not mean that it is normal. Yes, in the luteal phase, you have your testosterone levels rising. That's why you may feel a little bit of aggression and you may feel heaviness. But if you exercise and eat well, you can actually avoid these symptoms and you can get in the sync of that energy which is dipping down by controlling the activity and food. And let's just discuss about that now. About the activity, as we discussed in the ovulation phase, the estrogen actually helps you to do high intensity exercises. However, at the end of the luteal phase, around 4 to 5 days before your period, that is the time when you can actually reduce the intensity of your workouts. However, I'm not saying that you should stop doing the workouts, but you can shift your workouts more towards yoga, Pilates, stretching, and practice your flexibility rather than strength. And why am I even advising you for the workout? Because by workout, you are going to actually increase your endorphins or the happy hormones, which will help you to stabilize your mood and stay happy even if your energy is not on an all-time high. Similarly, at the work and home front, you can focus on the things which are more of the background work rather than the forefront. So, this is the time when you can actually plan your stuff. This is the time when you can actually do the stuff which is not seen on the outside. This is the time when you can actually focus on decluttering. You can focus on cleaning. You can focus on planning and management of the stuff which you have done in your ovulation phase. Although it depends on the individualistic preference, but this is the time when you can actually focus on reading, doing your plantation, or doing those things which actually make you feel calm. And now let's talk about the foods which are going to help you go through your luteal phase. In the luteal phase, what you need to make sure is that your progesterone production is on point. You get a good dose of happy hormones which are serotonin and dopamine so that you stay happy. And in order to do that, B group vitamins are going to help you big time because they play an important role in the production of progesterone. And not only that, as I have discussed, that in the end of the luteal phase estrogen levels dip down, and because estrogen is the feel-good hormone in the female, you might feel like dependence on sugar to feel good. And to avoid those sugar cravings, you can actually focus on a good amount of sweet fruits so that they can naturally curb your sugar cravings. And by combining the right amount of naturally occurring sweetness in the fruits with a good amount of protein and fiber, you not only will be satiated for a very long time, but you will be actually saving a lot of trips to the refrigerator in search of an ice cream or in search of the chocolates. On top of that, I'll give you one more secret. You might feel like sugar cravings and chocolate cravings, and that craving can also be curbed by having a good amount of seeds and nuts. So, luteal phase can be the absolutely right time for you to enjoy fruit, milk, oats and nuts smoothie bowls. In fact, if you're not following me on Instagram, you might be missing out on something, because there I share my usual meals and how I make everything tasty, because I'm a foodie and I have a knack for fitness also. So I kind of have to balance both of these things. So I would highly recommend that you follow me on Instagram so that we can be better connected. In the next week's video, I am going to discuss the dreaded part of the menstrual cycle, which is the actual period. So please come back for that. And on that note, 𝗠𝐵 𝗟𝐿 signing off. I'll see you next week. Until that time, make sure that you're being a fit foodie. And remember that I love you unconditionally. Bye.